We'll start the session with a small prayer. You can gently close your eyes, relax and sit back, focusing on your breath. Pay complete attention to the breath. Enjoying the feel of the breath. Slowly and steadily, try to inhale deep. And with that exhalation, release all the thoughts, plans, feelings that you've got, and make yourself purer. Inhale again. Exhale and let go everything. Don't be judgmental there. Everything. Breathe in deep. Breathe out and let go. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsajanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrpatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Simple palming. After palming, you can gently open your eyes. Bună dimineața.
Bună dimineața, sorry.
So, in the previous class, we finished the first chapter, the chapter of Arjuna Vishada Yoga, despondency of Arjuna. The word seems to be very, very fancy, but it is complete depression. Why is he depressed? He does not know what to do. As simple as that. Most of the time, we are also struck with the same. It is not definitely a disease, but we do experience the downs, the low moods, and that's exactly what Arjuna also had. It was a nervous breakdown for him, and hence he wasn't in a position to wage war or even stand up for that matter. I'm going to give a small recap. What did we learn towards the end of the chapter? What did the chapter say? The entire chapter was Arjuna's lamentation. The entire chapter was about his crying again and again, talking about his relatives' life and what a war can lead to, At one point, it seems to be Arjuna's selfishness because he is not seeing the greater good. But we cannot brush aside the factor that Arjuna has this compassion, compassion towards people, because he knows his own self, he knows his capability. If he is standing Whether there would be millions, he can finish all the millions within seconds. He is so capable an archer. So he feels pitied. He feels sorry for these people. And that compassion is the primary thing for anyone for that matter, to receive spiritual knowledge. Why didn't Krishna give the Upadesha? Upadesha means lessons, the teachings. Why didn't he give Upadesha to any other brother of the Pandavas? Why only to Arjuna? In many instances in Mahabharata, Krishna himself says that I am the soul of Arjuna, and in Arjuna's soul I reside. Many times he tells people, he tells Dhritarashtra, he tells Sanjaya, the minister with the magical vision, he tells everyone that me and Arjuna are inseparable, which means Arjuna also has this divine attributes. So first is compassion. He has this compassionate heart for people. That's very, very important. What made the divine speak? He was quiet all the time. What do we do before God? Or even if we don't believe in God, we believe in some alternative source of divine energy, okay? What do? We tell all our desires, we tell all our problems. That is called prayer, right? This I want in life, this should be better, this should be moderate. So when the mind speaks, the divine is quiet. It doesn't answer. That is prayer. When the mind stops to speak and listens divine quotes, that is meditation. We have to escalate our stage from prayer to meditation. Of course, prayers are equally important to keep ourselves sane. Otherwise it becomes very difficult. We have to have that emptying of thoughts, and that too before Lord Almighty. That's even more important. Rather than confiding in people and then taking psychiatric counseling sessions and spending millions and thousands of money, we can just pour out all the stuff unto him, right? So prayers are very, very important. But is that all? Arjuna at one point escalated his prattling mind from that stage to the stage called, please learn this Sanskrit word, Sharanagati. Sorry, I'm acting as a teacher. You don't have to learn. Sharanagati. Sharanagati is complete surrender, my dear. Complete surrender. Complete surrender means surrender of your ego. Ego is that which makes you plan, which makes you think, strategize, which makes you think, I can do this, I can make things better, So until that point of time, the mind is super active. Even when you are praying, the mind is super active. You're just emptying thoughts, but again, you have plan B, plan C in your mind. Hence, it is no act of prayer again. No? So it is not complete pouring out of thoughts, complete emptying of thoughts. It is just a prayer. And in Christianity, there is significance of prayer. Yeah, I know that. I have a Christian friend, and without fail, morning and evening, there would be prayers, verbal prayers. And we have a different kind of sect of Christianity in India, so their prayers are very, very loud. So prayer definitely helps in enhancing the mental health. But is that all? If you want the divine to speak and you shut up, the prayer has to be escalated. The stage of prayer has to be escalated to the stage of meditation. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. Rishi Patanjali says that is the state of yoga where all your inhibitions, all your modifications of mind calms down, ceases, stop to exist. Isn't that meditation itself? Meditation, as we see in YouTube videos from the guided meditation teachers, is not visualizing things, my dear. When you visualize, you're again making your mind alert, active, making it work, I'm not saying you make your mind dormant. If your mind is dormant, then you will be in coma. You don't want that stage also. Hence, from the second chapter, you can see Krishna starts to speak only when he puts his weapon down. He puts his ego down. In his weapon is his ego. That's what we have to do. We have to surrender our ego, the mindness and I-ness in us. How do we do that? Simple equation. There is a simple equation. Turn that I to we. Turn that mind to our. When I went to do master degree in yoga, I was 22 years old. Exactly 20 years back. To an institution where the vice chancellor, who is the most famous, and he is the person, because of him, the reason for which we are celebrating International Day of Yoga today. Dr. H.R. Nagendra. We call him Guruji. Guruji has unique way of defining yoga. He is not saying, okay, samadhi, mind modification stops, stillness, silence. You know what he says? The journey of transition from an animal man to divine man to perfection. What is animal man? Spider-Man? Animal man has this conscience like an animal. He works for his own survival. He thinks, worries about his own progress. He wants to settle down, sort all the worries and troubles like an animal thinks, like a bacteria thinks. It wants its own comfortable environment to grow, grab every opportunity where it is becoming comfortable. From that consciousness, slowly through the process of yoga, you start to magnify. You start to expand. You don't think only about your progress, your family's welfare, your upheaval, but think about the society, the nation, the world, the people we live in. Even in the opposite situations, you find the person whom are unfavorable, the enmity is destroyed. You find him in you in him, That's divine man, right? Then how does compassion work? It works with compassion. I used to say, when suddenly something happens and your left hand goes and hits your eye, will you burn your left hand? No. No, you won't punish your left hand because that's you. Seeing you in everything, in everyone. That does not mean that you are killing yourselves, you are becoming a slave. Never. Slavery is yoga. Never. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha is mastery. Mastery. So, until I'll come back. Until the point of surrender, the divine does not speak. Our sadhana, the entire sadhana, the entire practice has to have this aim, my dear. You do yoga, you pray, you go to church, you go to orphanages to spend time. You go and serve the elderly community, whatever you do. The entire sadhana, spiritual sadhana, has to have this objective. The objective of making the divine speak to you and not you doing, not you speaking. Hence I say surrender means from the small individualistic personality that you're holding in this name and form, you should expand yourself as an all-pervasive personality. And then slowly the divine first graces you. I am giving a prelude to all the shlokas that we are going to do. The divine graces you only when you hold such characteristics. This great old saint, we treat him as God himself, just as Messiah. Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya, he is named. He gives some tenets, some principles, some characteristics of a sadhaka, of a spiritual practitioner. How a person has to be to entertain the divine grace to pour, to make this silent one speak. Now my mind is very, very active. It is being talkative all the time. But the silent one remains silent because so much talking is going up there. So the talk has how to lessen the talk, how to make the silent one speak. He gives this characteristics. He says sadhana chatushtaya, 4 qualifications, in which one is viveka. Viveka means discrimination. I know what is right and wrong. Nobody has to teach me. Why is he specifically talking about discrimination? It is not the discrimination between right and wrong. It is the discrimination power between permanent and impermanent thing in universe. Close your eyes and just think for yourself. You don't have to answer the question. Close your eyes and think for 1 minute. Which thing, which person, which situation in this entire universe, metaverse, multiple verse, is always there, always existing, never involves any change. Don't worry, you will never get an answer. Change is the only possible permanent thing in this universe. Everybody is changing. Weren't you like this? And then you suddenly became like this? How were you 20 years ago? What will happen after 40 years? You never know. And it is the same with things. Even the banyan tree has some life. Even plastic has life. Right? Everything is destroyable except for self. Except for yourself. What is self? Is this some substance? Some pure white substance? Lustrous? Full of wisdom? It's no substance. It is the existence itself. Now this is going to be serious. You know what? You existed even before the body, even before the name, even before the form that you've got now. You will remain existing even after the physical death. That you, which is existing, is the real self. And the problem is that I think, Lalita, oh my God, I've got fever. Oh my God, I got dengue. Oh my God, I'm getting into coma. Oh my God, I'm leaving this universe. This is all just sweet dream. Dreamy truth, which has no base. I existed before even I was there in my mother's womb. I will continue to exist even after my death. That is Viveka. That is the right discrimination. That's the first characteristic one has to have. Okay, I knew it. Now I know. How do I hold it? Hold it. Hold it for long. Okay. Second, Vairagya. Vairagya is not non-passion. It is dispassion. It is detachment. Have you ever met with that cancer patient who lived for 90 years and was diagnosed with 4th stage? I've been there. They are the most lively persons I've ever met with, because they know their death date and they want to live every moment. They want to eat papanash, they eat papanash. They want to eat jalebi, they eat jalebi. They live their life every moment with all awareness, with all kindness. The one who cheated them, they call them. No? They want to resolve everything. What is the difference between that 90-year-old woman and us? The only difference is that she knows the death date and you don't know. I don't know. Really? We don't know the death date? We know death is for sure, right? And why holding so much of contempt, fear, anger, worry about future? Why holding that? Because you know for sure, even after your physical death, you're going to be there. You're going to exist. Why do you have to worry? That is dispassion. That is detachment. That's the second characteristic a sadhak has to have. The third one is the Shatka Sampatti. 6 characteristics he talks about. Oh, you said only 4, now you're saying 6? Yes. The third one has 6 altogether. And it is very interesting. Okay, don't go for the Sanskrit terminologies, just understand. The first one is Shama. Shama is the control over mind. Dhamma, control over your senses. physical senses. What is control? It is not restraining order to the tongue. No papanash for you for life. No ice creams for you, oh tongue. No, it is not the restraining thing. It is mastery. See for yourself in the entire 24-hour cycle that you are in. There are definitely certain things that without which you cannot live. It can be just reading a novel, a page of a novel. It can be just opening the window and sunshine. When you don't get the sunshine, you feel, somehow or the other, because of the excessive dependency over situations, people, and things, we become fragile. You understand? That fragility, that weakness should not occur. Should not occur through your senses. Should not occur by your mind. You have to be your master. Even if I am rich, I am contented. Even if I am in rags, I am contented. That's just an example. Given whatever situation it can be. That's control over mind and control over senses. The third one, uparati. Going beyond dualities. We are so stuck in the past. We are so obsessed with the past or so much worrying about the future. We lose the life of the present moment. That's what we do. We see only the opposites in our life. This guy ill-treated me. This guy is very good because he was morally standing by me. We have this decisive parameters in our mind. This is clouding your mind. Really? I thought this is maturity. I thought this is analyzing people. Tell me one thing. Were you the same 5 years ago? Were you the same 2 weeks ago? Didn't your emotions change? Didn't your preferences change? 20 years ago, I was getting up at 5 o'clock, walking, running. Our preferences changed. Won't there be any factor that will make the other person also change? But no, we still see the person as how he was. This is clouding of mind. This is what I'm talking about. Hence, see the person, see the situation as if it is new. There's this beautiful Sanskrit verse, Dine Dine Navam Navam. Everything has to be treated new. I am newly born today. Try this and see for yourself. This is going beyond dualities. Uparati. It's not exactly going beyond dualities. It's just a baby step towards going beyond dualities. But yes, definitely worth trying. And the next one is titiksha, forbearance, endurance. The more we toil ourselves in opposite situations, the more matured we are. What do we think? Always we don't prefer. We go against sufferings of life. Like we just escape sufferings, right? Anyone here likes sufferings? Nobody. Nobody. Everybody wants massage spa in life, right? But you know, the key to spiritual growth and maturity is in sufferings. Go behind past and then for one moment think about your suffering. You don't have to discuss about it. But just viewing the suffering and then analyzing your own character that had been groomed through the suffering, after the suffering, how you have enabled yourself to be perhaps strong. The usual example I used to give is our Indian diamonds. So to make the carbon, is essentially a carbon, right? It's a black, ugly, awkward mineral. But how much times it has to go inside the heated temperature, the fire, to become the diamond? Diamond not only beautiful, it is bold, it is strong. Only through the suffering we get that spiritual growth, my dears. So what is the attitude that you have to have towards suffering? That is titiksha, that is forbearance. Just as you endure cold, freaking cold, do you kill yourself? Do you die? Oh my God, it is going to be colder in January. Let me die in December itself. No, no. You tolerate it, correct? You endure the coldness. Tan titikshasva bharata. It will come in the second chapter. Whatever suffering comes in life, O Arjuna, Krishna says, you try to forbear it. That's how you get matured. That's how you get sensible. That's how you become a diamond, not an ordinary coal. It is not some weird motivational speech that I'm giving. It is not ordinary motivational speech. It is the truth. Only through life suffering, we move towards spirituality. I told this in 2 videos back, in our 2 sessions back. Otherwise, you will not even ask yourself, what is the purpose of life? If everything goes smooth, if everything is wonderful, why would you sit here and listen to Bhagavad Gita of what I should do in life? Will you? Tell me, honestly. Nobody will turn back towards God or Almighty, right? So titiksha. And the next comes is Shraddha. Immense faith towards the golden words of Guru. Immense faith. Not only faith here. Faith plus devotion plus respect, regard plus willpower. What happens in the other forms of spirituality or religion towards spirituality that we see? We just hold on to that aspect of faith alone, my dear. But faith alone will not work. Faith alone will make you feeble. Faith alone will make you non-intellectual. Faith alone will make you non-discriminative. Thinking of what if not is prohibited when faith alone matters. Shraddha is not only faith, it is devotion. When does devotion come? When you like something from your heart. Right? Yeah. Like, for example, you listen to Sadhguru. You find him intriguing. You find him discriminative, you find logic there. And all of a sudden, there is some devotion happening. Oh, it is Sadhguru's shorts, YouTube shorts. Okay, let me just stop browsing and listen to him. 1 minute. What does he got to say? This happens. Yes. Where did this come from? Any religion? No. Did anyone talk about what you should believe in, what you should not? No. Shraddha is beyond faith. It is devotion. And willpower also. If you work only with faith, sometimes you might become fragile and weak, feeble. Because for faith, there is no logic. But faith plus willpower is the willingness to do whatever you want to, you feel like doing. So that is Shraddha. So faith plus devotion plus regard plus willpower is what you got to have. I have to use so many words because I don't find exact translation of Sanskrit words. You understand my pitiable conditions. So I give mathematical formulas for you to make you understand. And the last characteristic is samadhana. 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 Oh my God. How do I explain this? Samadhana is a state where you are thoroughly relaxed, even if there is problem, as if you're in the state of solution. Even if there is cold, as if you are in the warm, cozy place. Even if you are you are sitting with the beggar down on the Indian roads, as if you are the richest of the richest. Who is this Romanian prime minister president? Who was that? That, yeah.
Iohannis,
okay.
or Mr. Cholaku, our
Cholaku.
PM.
Yeah. So the state of complete contentment, dissolution of mind state. Somebody asked me, you're kidding me. These are essential characteristics to become spiritual. Then how will I be called when I'm completely spiritual? So these are the characteristics that we have to work with, my dear. And the last one is mumukshatva. I told about four, no? Viveka, Vairagya, and the 6 together. And the 4th one is mumukshatva, the desire to gain salvation, to obtain enlightenment. If there is no desire of, or you don't believe in something other than hell, heaven, something other than this world, then why will you desire? Only with spiritual suffering, as I've been mentioning, only with the life suffering, you will end up saying, oh my God, I've been running errands for these people, for me, my own self. Why am I not happy still? What is the purpose of life? What is essential happiness? What is that I have to do to gain real happiness? Not running, not doing duties, something else. that will occur only when there is desire. There is this thing that you know from within, okay, there's something scientifically wrong that I am doing. Whatever efforts I put to gain happiness, it is turning me back. The formula is not working. No? So when you know that there is another way, there should be another way, then you will move towards spirituality. You will understand the spiritual significance, right? So I spoke enough for the prelude, but I couldn't start. I think if you have any questions, we can finish off here, and then again we'll start the second chapter tomorrow, next week. Any questions here? Yes, Marilla.
At the beginning, you are speaking about meditation, and you say that all YouTubers or everybody is saying to visualize things. But if you are not visualizing things, how you can get to this meditation thing? Only by feeling, transcending yourself to the alpha state, going yourself directly to your alpha state.
So
I'm thinking, I'm telling only from my experience, only for my experience. For example, you know, my experience with you and my other experience with other type of meditation.
Right. So whatever that we find in YouTube videos as meditation, guided meditation, are not unauthorized. They are called dharana.
Yeah.
Dharana is in focus with an intent to focus, but somehow pitiably, the act of defocus that has to follow along with the focus is missed. Either it is the procedure of meditation that they follow, or the inability of the instructor to make them defocus can lead to misleading states. Hence, the ability to focus as well as the ability to defocus has to come. That is the preliminaries. That itself is not meditation. That is the preliminary stage of what we call as dharana. Meditation as in dhyana, the seventh stage of Ashtanga Yoga, is staying completely relaxed, Marilla. Staying completely relaxed, effortless, fully aware. And when will this happen? When you curtail all the impermanent stuff, your mind, which is visualizing, your body, which is giving all the changes, a heat inside, or whatever it is. When you could curtail all the impermanent stuff and stay in that permanent divinity, the sense of bliss within, that is meditation. And for that, you don't have to literally sit and do. You can walk and experience the bliss. Why do you feel the walk by the side of the seashore during the sunset being peaceful?
It is quiet, and the sound of the waves,
quietens your mind.
Yes, and
the air of the wind of the ocean make your body very, very light. You curtail all the impermanent stuff out of you, and you're just aware of the bliss. Is walking by the side of by the shore of the ocean in the sunset, not dhyana. It is dhyana. And then it would be complete only when you don't need the sun, you don't need the shore, you don't need the wind and the rustling sound, rumbling sound of the waves. You are amidst traffic, yet relaxed, yet curtail all the bodily and mental limitations. Be with the bliss. That is dhyana.
It is a whole process that I think many of us has
Yeah,
were
that will happen. That will happen when you start to curtail. So separation, that is what we are going to talk about. Sankhya Yoga is the second chapter's name. No, that's what we're going to read. Sankhya means true and perfect knowledge. What is true and perfect knowledge? Sankhya is supposed to be one of the great 6 philosophies of Indic culture also. Like yoga is one philosophy, and Sankhya, supposed to be the father of yoga, is another philosophy. You know what Sankhya says? Separate Purusha and Prakriti, which means separate consciousness from, let me put it simple, separate self and non-self. What is self? The existence that you've got, that you are with, you will be with, is self. Body, name, form, all these life's fluctuations, moods, sorrows, swings of upheavals, fantasies, good moments, and elated moments, all those are non-self, temporal, non-true. That separation should happen. That is perfect knowledge. So, even when you are at office, not only to Mirala, everyone, even when you're at office, separate yourself from non-self. And see, you will not be deciding through ego. You will not be deciding through past. You will not be working with the same old, patterned habits. But you will work with joy. That is yogaha karmasu kaushalam. That is yoga. That's the state of yoga. So my point here is meditation is not sitting and doing. Meditation is that relaxed state where you could separate self and non-self. That is true knowledge itself. You think it comes through process? I think it might.
Yeah, you're right.
It might, and it might not too. Yeah. So you think I'll go baby steps for it? I think no. We should we should cut right at the root spot. When I see there is this plant that is coming by the side of wheat cultivations, and it is creating a ruckus in the growth of the wheat, the first thing that I do is go to the field and then remove all those plants. Yeah, the weeds. Yeah. So I say, cut the very weed, the root of very weed. And then see.
I hope all this clarification was good for everybody, and made a bit of how to say brought a bit of clarification in what in fact meditation it is and what is not.
Yeah.